Ladies and gentlemen, FC Barcelona and the Spanish national team are currently beefing. They're beefing over their star player Lamine Yamal, who, as we all know, is currently injured with a back problem and is going to miss the next game for Barcelona against Valencia, which is literally the next day after dropping this video, and potentially could miss the game against Newcastle for the first match of the Champions League league phase, away at St. James Park. I already expressed how difficult it is going away to St. James Park. How difficult and a tough match is going to be. Now without Lamine Yamal. De La Fuente, you son of a bitch. But Barcelona and the Spanish national team, having some disagreements over what has occurred with Lamine Yamal. Of course, Barcelona are accusing the Spanish national team of negligence with Lamine Yamal's health because apparently Lamine Yamal had reported to the national team that he wasn't feeling well, that he had some back problems, and apparently the national team said, hey, here, take some painkillers, and you're going to play these qualifying matches. And I can understand the World Cup qualifying matches are important because they definitely want to go to the World Cup. But the question is, did he really need to play the amount of minutes that he played? Did he really have to start these games or really play these games considering the teams that were playing and honestly how easily they handled them? That is the question here. And yeah, a lot of outrage for sure from Barcelona fans. But let's quickly go over the tweets and everything that's been spread around, the information that's been spread around. So this is the first one, apparently from Fabrizio Romano, that the whole of Barcelona internally are very angry and irritated at the Spanish national team because of Lamine's case. Of course. Now, we saw in Hansi Flick's press conference that he said they, which is the Spanish national team, gave Lamine painkillers, and even when they were winning, they made him play. Yeah, I think they were winning 3-0, 4-0 against Turkey in the first half. Yeah, playing the rest and playing more minutes. This is not taking care of the players. Maybe they should take care of the young players. I'm very sad about this. Now going to the next tweet. Barcelona say that the Spanish national team were fully aware of Lamine's discomfort as they were told by the player himself. Okay. The national team's doctors described it as acute pain. The club was even told that no risks would be taken with Yamal if a risk of injury was detected. 9 sons of bitches. And apparently the national teams had came out saying what their version saying at no point did anyone from Barcelona contacted the national team about any discomfort of the player. If they detected something, he wouldn't have played. They constantly speak with the club. Okay, so we have some, two sides from the story right now. Barcelona accusing that the national team knew and were aware of Lamine's discomfort, and apparently the national team didn't get any news from Barcelona. But going back to what Barcelona had said, they were fully aware of Lamine's discomfort as they were told by the player himself. That's key right here. They were told by the player himself. I'm sorry, it has nothing to do with Barcelona. It has to do with the player, your star player, your best player, 18 years old, by the way. He came up to you and told you, I'm not feeling well. And what the doctors decided to do was, we have to play Lamine. Oh, De La Fuente, we have to play Lamine. Oh, De La Fuente, oh yeah, we do have to play Lamine. Oh, we have to play him. Well, we want money. Oh, let's play him. Give him painkillers. Give an 18-year-old painkillers to rough through these qualifier matches, because we definitely don't have the team to compete. They definitely don't have the team to complete. Who scored for them? Oh, Mikel Merino scored a fucking hat trick. He scored a hat trick. And you really needed Lamine Yamal. You really needed Lamine Yamal. Pedri also the goal, scored 2 goals. But it's a matter of, it's negligence. It's negligence from the national team. If the player is coming to you with discomfort, you have to take it into consideration and be like, oh, maybe we should play someone else. Give other players opportunities, especially when he played. How many minutes did he play? Oh, he played into the 73rd minute. And when, let's see, 1, 2, 3. They were winning 3-0 by halftime. 3-0 by halftime, and they still play Lamine into the 73rd minute. And of course, the last game before that, where they played against Bulgaria, where they won 3-0, and Lamine Yamal played a total of, almost 80 minutes. Almost 80 minutes. Of course, Lamine Yamal was sensational in both games. I understand that, but it's a matter of taking care of your players because now look at the situation that Barcelona have to deal with Lamine Yamal being out for important games, especially for the Champions League. All right, again, going away to St. James Park without Lamine Yamal is going to be tough. It's going to be tough because we already know Lamine Yamal, Barcelona heavily depend on him. Heavily, it's something that shouldn't be happening, especially with the amount of players and talent that we have. We shouldn't solely be depending on Lamine Yamal, an 18-year-old, but we've seen cases even last season where when Lamine Yamal was out for a couple weeks with an injury, that was our worst moments as a team under Hansi Flick, where we were struggling to create chances, we were struggling to win games, we dropped points in the league, and it was all because Lamine Yamal wasn't available for us. Now, early on to the season, he's already not available because he's getting overplayed when he really shouldn't have been played at all. Again, I understand the World Cup qualifications is important and all, but come on. You're playing, look at the league that they have. It's an easy, this is easy for the Spanish national team to get straight into the World Cup. Georgia, Turkey, Bulgaria. If you had a little France in there, a little something, a little bit more, a team with more competition, yeah, okay, I can understand wanting to play Lamine Yamal. But it's a matter of you have such a great team already, lots of talents everywhere. You can give other players opportunities, and you have enough talent, enough of a team, of a squad, to beat any of these sides easily without Lamine Yamal. Especially when the player's already telling you that he is discomfort, he's already having some discomfort. Of course, people can, say that Lamine Yamal probably told De La Fuente he wanted to play because we all know Lamine Yamal. He's a warrior. He wants to play. He wants to show out in all these matches, and I can understand that too. That Lamine Yamal probably told De La Fuente, "No, I'm good. Let me play." Right? But it's the job of the coach himself to tell him, "Nah, take a back seat, buddy. Go rest. Go heal yourself." Especially considering the World Cup is around the corner. You're going to qualify easily. Everyone knows that. You already got 2 out of 2 wins. You already got 6 points. A couple, I think, they need 2 or 3 more wins, and they're clearly through. They're easily going to get through. You could have easily given Lamine Yamal a backseat and told him just rest. Because he's going to play a lot of games from here until the World Cup because Barcelona heavily depend on him. We can't risk just benching Lamine Yamal. We can take the liberty of just benching Lamine Yamal because he's such an important player for us. Now, De La Fuente has said in the past that, of course, when it comes to players being overplayed, it also comes down to the amount of minutes they play for their club because they definitely play for more for club level than they do for the national team. With the national team, they're there for a couple weeks, a couple months when it comes to tournaments, but when it comes to their club level, they're obviously there almost year round, right? And I can understand that too because Barcelona have definitely overplayed the guy since he's joined Barcelona since 16 years old. He's definitely played a lot of minutes, and thankfully Lamine Yamal as of now has shown that he's a freak of nature and can handle these amount of games. And physically, he's improving. Physically, he's looking a lot better. So Lamine Yamal has definitely shown that he can still play at these high levels consistently and maybe have a little bit setbacks here and there, but we all have to think about the fact that he's 18 years old, right? And Barcelona have definitely abused it a little bit, right? But it's the fact that when the player is telling you himself that he has some discomfort, that he's probably not feeling 100%, you have to tell him as a coach, as a responsible coach, you're not going to play. You're not going to play. Go rest. Even if Lamine Yamal is insisting, yo, I want to play. No, go rest, buddy. Go rest. And it's annoying because Hansi Flick definitely relies on Lamine Yamal, and especially like I already said, we definitely rely on Lamine Yamal. Now, missing the game against Valencia, I think against Valencia we should win even without Lamine Yamal. But now when it comes to the first game of the Champions League, and who knows after that, I'm sure he'll be back after that game if he doesn't play against Newcastle. I'm sure even Lamine Yamal will probably push himself, which I don't think we should take the risk either way. I'm sorry, we shouldn't take the risk. I know against Newcastle is going to be a difficult match, but if Lamine Yamal is seriously hurt and he's not feeling well, we have to wait till he's fully fit. We can't risk him. Maybe try to get him back for the PSG game 100%, but before that, no. If he's not feeling well, if he's not 100%, we can't risk him. We have a long season, and we don't have the depth on the right-hand side, especially since we haven't even registered Rooney yet. So he can play in the Champions League, but not in the league. So we don't have no one to play on the right. Obviously, we have Rafinha who's going to play. I think now it's going to be Rafinha on the right, Rashford on the left, and then Fedon up top or level, whoever they want to play, right? So we have some options too, but we all know what Lamine Yamal offers is not what Rafinha offers on the right-hand side, or even Rooney if he was registered and would have been able to play. So in my opinion, definitely Barcelona have to, definitely don't take any risks if it isn't necessary. Of course, we have some tough games. We have to important games as well, especially since we just dropped points against Rayo Vallecano, and Madrid keep on winning. They literally won today as well against Real Sociedad. So we want to close the gap as well, but we definitely have to focus in the long term rather than the short term right now. We're only 3 games in. We're only 3 games in. We won twice and we tied once. We're not fully out of it yet, right? So Barcelona just have to take in consideration that it's a long season. Lamine Yamal is our important player. We have to rest him. So hopefully Hansi Flick, takes responsibility in that and tells the player himself, we're not going to push you. We're not going to take any risk with you. And obviously tell the club, like, we can't risk this kid. He's 18 years old, guys. Like, that's the other thing. Like, we have to really, truly understand that he's 18 years old. And again, what he's shown so far, freak of nature, generational talent, best player in the world. But the last thing we want to do is risk his career because of some games. Because a long career is what we all want to see from Lamine Yamal rather than what he can do right now. Of course, what he can do right now is going to affect his long career and, of course, how much of an old-timer he's going to go down as. But I'd rather wait and see what Lamine Yamal is capable of from here on to 10 more years rather than risk him for a couple more games and then he gets an injury, he gets set back for months, and then he gets set back again. Like, we don't want to see that, right? It's a whole Pedri situation as well, where Pedri was overplayed as hell. Overplayed in both the national team and for Barcelona, consistently injured. Now he's at his best. Now he's back and showing what he's capable of. But it took years of that. It took months of that. It took months of what we could have seen of greatness from the guy, but he was overly played. We all remember 2021, right after the Euros, where he played every single game up to the semifinals. It was important and key for the Spanish national team. And then right after that, he went to the Olympics. Under who? De La Fuente. He went to the Olympics after that. I'm sure Pedri could have rejected it because obviously he played a bunch for in the Euros. He could have definitely rejected it. I think Pedri himself also wanted to go to the Olympics, so I'm not gonna fully fault the coach for the Olympics at that point. I think it was De La Fuente. I'm pretty sure. I'm not gonna fault him, but it's a matter of. It's just common sense at this point, right? It should be common sense, like overplaying a young player, because this hasn't been done in the past at all, like as much as it is doing, like currently how it's going right now in the world of football. And the only thing we're seeing in the world of football currently is that a lot of players are getting major injuries. A lot of them are getting major setbacks. So we don't want to take these risks with our star players, with the likes of Lamine, Pedri, whoever else we have. So I definitely advise Barcelona to not take any risk. I'm sure Hansi Flick is a very intelligent man. He's a very intelligent coach, and he knows how to manage his team and convince the team that we don't need Lamine Yamal to just fully win these games. You guys have to be the star guys as well. So that's something I advocated before the season even started, that Barcelona have to rely. They cannot rely fully on Lamine Yamal. We rely on Lamine, but we can't rely too much because there's going to be these situations where he's going to be out. And all the other players have to step up. They have to step up. So we'll see what happens against Valencia tomorrow. We'll see if Lamine potentially can make it back. But again, if he doesn't make it back against Newcastle, I have no problem with that. I definitely would want him back for PSG. But before PSG, without taking any risk, if he's not 100%, please don't take the risk. We don't have to, they're important games, yes, but I think our team is capable of definitely winning these games, even without Lamine Yamal, at least a couple games. So, yeah, we'll see what Hansi Flick and the team and everyone involved do. But, yeah, so definitely some question marks for the Spanish national team of how they're overplaying their players, especially their star players, their best players. De La Fuente, wake up. And, obviously, outrage from Barcelona and Hansi Flick himself because, of course, losing your best player is always upsetting. But yeah, let me know down in the comments what you guys thought about this whole situation. How do you guys feel about Lamine Yamal being out for a couple games, especially the first game of the Champions League against St. James Park against Newcastle? How are you feeling about that match? And who's at fault here? De La Fuente, Lamine, maybe Barcelona for not telling them about him apparently having discomfort, even though the player himself told them. Yeah, let me know all down in the comments below. I will be reading them and replying back. So make sure to leave a comment and make sure to like, subscribe, baby, hit the notification bell. I love you. I'll see you next video. Peace.